Imagine God came to you, presented himself to you. How would you react? How would you change? What type of a person would you be? Well, this is something that happened to our ancestors as they crossed the Red Sea. The experience of the splitting of the sea was so magnificent, was so prophetic, that our sages tell us that even the lowliest handmaiden had greater visions than the prophet Yechezkel. It was as if they saw God himself. And when they sung their famous song at the sea, Shirat Hayam, they said, Ze Keli Va'anvehu. This is my God. Ze means that they pointed. They pointed to God and they said, this is my God, Va'anvehu, and I will glorify him. They saw God and their reaction was, Va'anvehu, I will glorify him. What does that mean? And understanding this might give us somewhat of an answer, an indication as to what we should be required to do if we were to have a vision of God. What does that word Va'anvehu means? And the Talmud gives us a number of beautiful explanations. One explanation, Va'anvehu, comes from the word Naveh, which means a beautiful structure. This is my God, and I am going to build him a beautiful structure. Ultimately, this was the Mishkan, the tabernacle that the Jewish people built in the wilderness, and then later the Beit HaMikdash, the temple, the first temple, and the second temple. Now, of course, no structure can hold God, but it's for us. We, if you like, have to give a place where we can serve God. So their first reaction is, this is my God, and I'm going to build him a naveh, a beautiful place, a lodging place in the world, a place where I can go and commune with him. Another explanation is that the word va'anvehu simply means praises. This is my God, and I'm going to sing praises to him. And of course, there's no praise that is enough for God. He is beyond human praise. But this is something that I feel I must do. I need to praise him. I need to say thank you to him. Another explanation in the Talmud is very beautiful. It takes the word va'anvehu and it divides it up into two words. Ani vahu, I and him. This is my God, and I want to be like him. I want to be godly. I want to emulate God, says the Talmud. Heve domelo. Try to imitate God. And indeed, there's many ways that we can imitate God. He tells us in the Torah, V'alachta b'drachav, walk in my ways. Mahu rachum, just as he is compassionate, so too we should be compassionate. He visits the sick, as he did to Abraham after his bris. He consoles mourners, as he did to Yitzhak after the death of Abraham. He assists people to get married, as he did with Chava, with Eve, before she was married to Adam. And of course, he buries the dead, as he did to Moshe at the end of the Torah. So va'anvehu means I want to be like God. He is the greatest. I want to emulate him. I want to try to, in some way, be and do the type of things that God does. And the final explanation given by our sages is as follows. Ze keli va'anvehu, this is my God, and I shall beautify him. Well, how could you beautify God? God is beyond time and beyond space. But there is a way in which we can beautify God, says the Talmud, hitna'eh lefanav b'mitzvot. Beautify yourself before God with the mitzvot that you do. God gives us mitzvot to do. And we can do them at a very, very basic level. And we fulfill our basic obligation. But if we truly love God, and we can do so, we have to try and go beyond. We have to do what's called hidur. Hidur mitzvah, to beautify a mitzvah. And the Talmud gives a number of examples. Lulav na'eh. When you purchase a lulav, you can buy many different types of lulavim. Buy a beautiful one. Sefer Torah na'eh. You can buy many different qualities of Sifrei Torah. Try and get a beautiful one. Shofar na'eh. When you fulfill the mitzvah of shofar and Rosh Hashanah, you can get a basic one. You can get a beautiful one. If it's within your capacity and your ability, this is something that you should do, to beautify mitzvot. And it's so sad to see Jews who are driving around in cars that are worth hundreds of thousands of rands, and yet when they come to shul, they put on a pair of tefillin that is hardly kosher anymore, and they inherited from their Alter Zayda. When you open up the bag, a whole lot of moths fly out. That's not hidur mitzvah. That's not beautifying a mitzvah. That doesn't show that you want to commune with God. So indeed, if God was to come to us and tap us on the shoulder, what would be our reaction? Zeh keli, this is my God, and I shall beautify him. I shall make him majestic. I will build him a beautiful place. I will sing praises to him. I will emulate him, and I will make sure that when I do the mitzvot that he gives me, that I will do them in the most beautiful and majestic way possible. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.